Is he the savior Democrats have been waiting for? It also notes no Democrat has won statewide office in Texas in more than 30 years. You did, though, manage to flip your state house seat in 2018. You talk about your faith, you talk about religion and politics, but perhaps in a different way. And I know your response to the death of Charlie Kirk last month may have contributed to that. Do you see room in this Democratic Party for that kind of more centrist message at a time when we hear constantly that it could be more about the extremes, that is actually what will take hold, and that's what voters are maybe after?
Well, we have to use moral language. In addition to being a lawmaker, I'm also a seminarian. And if you read the New Testament, Jesus doesn't spend most of his time preaching or teaching or even praying. He spends most of his time healing the sick. Right now, we have politicians in Congress with Christ follower in their Twitter bios, but they are kicking the sick off their health care, and they're willing to shut down the government to do it. We as lawmakers, especially those of us who proclaim a devout faith, have a special obligation to heal people, not make them sicker. I feel like too often we sanitize this discussion about healthcare by talking about premiums and continuing resolutions, but a budget is a moral document. What happens to people who don't have health insurance? Diabetics ration their insulin, seniors skip their medication, and people die. In fact, it's estimated that 51,000 Americans will die needlessly if all these Republican cuts go through. That's 51,000 flesh and blood human beings. That's a moral crime. In the wealthiest country in human history, no one should die because they can't afford their health insurance.